project. We had no idea what it would be.
Well, I'm sure someone's explained the origin story to you, or do you want me to say that part? Yeah, okay. So the Tiny Desk concert series came about out of necessity, really. Bob, Gordon, and Steve Thompson were at South by Southwest at a club listening to a musician, as the story goes.
And the crowd just talking was louder than Laura.
I just realized that rather than going to shows where very quiet singer-songwriters are drowned out, we could just have them perform at our desks.
So we're going to videotape this for our blog, and maybe it's the start of something, and maybe it's not.
You never know. You never know.
Tiny Desk started in 2008, 2 cameras, 1 microphone, and that was it. And now we've come to a place where artists are asking their record labels if they can come and perform. This will be our 500th Tiny Desk.
Okay, why all the shotgun mics? My predecessor and colleague, Kevin Wade, he started the process of capturing Tiny Desk with one MS stereo shotgun mic from our friends at Sennheiser's, the 42S. And I think it's about to celebrate its 50th anniversary. Now, there's something where it doesn't make sense, right? Shotgun mics are made for film and for documentary capture. What I love about the shotgun mic, and also what I love about this ear trumpet lab mic, which I'm now using for global sound concerts, is that you can have the mic.
Y lo que pasa con el micrófono aquí es que puedes ver todo esto. La emoción del reportera cuando mueves esa tecnología de la cara. Y dado que el micrófono está diseñado para captar la voz humana, si tienes estos micrófonos stereo shotgun, son muy claritos. Pasa absolutamente.
Here's an instance where the shotgun mic really saved me. I want you to pay attention to the bottom left corner of the screen when her comes on the stage.
And finally, introduce my friend over here. One time for her.
Look where she is in relation to a very directional shotgun mic.
If I had it my way, you would know that you are. You're the coffee that I need in the morning. You're my sunshine in the rain when it's pouring. Won't you give yourself to me? Give it all. I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I follow. No matter how far. If life is a movie, then you're the best part.
Okay, so can anyone guess why that recording, I didn't have to stop it? If you actually look at the beginning of the concert, I show up right here when her comes on. During rehearsal, she was right behind the mic, right next to Daniel. It was perfect. So the background's around one stereo shotgun. She walks up next to Daniel. There I am, looking where she's standing. Fine. Go back to my setup, and with this very sound device recorder, and I solo the side channel. So can anyone guess how I could repair this without having to have them do it again? Anyone? There's two microphones, actually, at the back of the first section of the audience. So if anybody wants to come up and say something, I'm happy to answer any questions also after we make a little recording here on stage. Basically, a second instance of the side channel. This is her right here. So I actually am, thank God, I had that side channel soloed and I had her, so to speak, present enough. So by adding that second instance of the side channel, I could get her recording. So why the MS Stereo shotgun mic? That is one of the reasons. A bunch of mics. I love like these choir mics from Earthworks I would use for like the Sam Smith Tiny Desk had an incredible choir. Clip-on mics. I love things like the Neumann MCM 114s or the DPA 4099s that clip on the instrument. Anything that I can do to get furniture out of the shot, I think it's super important. Something that I learned at Tiny Desk was to include video in every recording that I make. We live in a visual world. So the other advice that I have for all of you sound engineers, students, and otherwise, roll a video copy of whatever you're doing. It's not that difficult these days. These little DJI Pocket 3s, your phone. I'm always rolling video because what I learned at Tiny Desk is having a visual component to your wonderful audio both enhance the other. If the audio is great and the video is great, it's transcendental. Front of house, I use these field recorders. These particular ones are from Sound Devices. The Zoom F8 is excellent for a less expensive version. This is a Mix Pre 6 that I recorded the very first Global Sound concert exactly 1 year ago here in Mexico City with Andre Beltran and El Mulu at the Parque Potsvoto. And I used this machine. It was just 4 inputs. 2 ear trumpet labs for vocals, and 2 DIs for guitar. These are on combo jacks. I didn't bring a DI. I just went right into the recorder for the DIs. And then I had this Sony D50, which is like very similar to a Zoom recorder. Has built-in stereo mics. I just put this in record standby, took the line level out into my laptop, into the recorder, and that was channels 5 and 6. So I made a beautiful multi-track recorder with recording with this. This is all I used. So I'm a big fan of using dedicated recorders that our friends in the film industry use, documentaries, because it's not a computer. A computer is required to do all kinds of things. When I'm making a recording that's really important, the only thing I want my recording device to do is to record audio. That's my own personal preference. That's how I record Yo-Yo Ma's cello. I don't think I've heard Yo-Yo Ma's cello heard like that before, because it's usually in a big, beautiful hall with tons of lush reverb on it. But I'm interested in making recordings that don't already exist. I wanted to get that guttural sound of the bow across the string, so I got down on my knees, and I circled his cello, his $20 million cello, and I found the spot that sounded the nastiest. I wanted it to sound ugly, and that's where I put my mic. On the other end of the spectrum is a band called Superorganism. Very limited channel counts. And I really feel that those limitations inspire creativity. So, even though I only had maybe 16 channels for the session, I had to create multiple instances of the same mic, and you hear them drastically different to get all the foley that you're about to see.
para ver lo que van a escuchar ahorita.
Chilling at the bottom of the sea, and I say, I just spin around. Oh, I just spin around. Oh, I just spin around. Oh, I just spin around.
Listen for the water bucket. These guys wanted to show up with just their little baby amps and then don't mic them, don't use it. Oh yeah, totally. Let's just use our baby amps. And then I took direct out of all of their instruments. And that's why it sounds like that. So sometimes you need to not necessarily trust your musicians to make the decision for you, but you know what, I'm going to take that DI too because I want to hear those subs. For example, Sesame Street came, and I love this little detail. We wanted for them to be interns. We made them all badges to get into the building. And their props department said, no. Their badges have to be the correct proportion of their size. So as you can see, Big Bird has a much bigger badge than Abby. And then there's There's no way you're going to fit that many people behind that tiny ass desk and hear everything perfectly. Yeah. This is just a slide to say, listen to your mentors. I think coming to things like Soundcheck Expo is so important. I think it's really an incredible place where you can meet your peers and your colleagues and learn. And this is really what it's all about. It's just the people and the connections that you make that lead you through your career. Unbelievably important. This is like my next project. So now that I left Tiny Desk, now what? I did it for 10 years. I did 15 years of journalism, 10 years of Tiny Desk, and I kind of hit a ceiling, right? As you can imagine. It was an embarrassment of riches to record all those incredible shows, play around with different recording techniques. My friends at AD microphones lend me ribbon mics, and they're still an RED stereo ribbon mic hanging above Tiny Desk as an audience. Those are the thumbprints that I left all over the series. Now I think it's time for someone else. And I was really inspired by all the home concerts. Does anybody here have a home concert from Tiny Desk that they just love, that was recorded during the pandemic? Like Dua Lipa. There's Mon Laferte in the church, where she's super pregnant, in the Mexican church. Steve Tangana from Spain, incredible home concert. And that really inspired me to create a series where I'm going to record Tiny Desk style audio that I created on my field sound gathering and apply it to going and traveling out around the world to learn about culture through music. So, if Anthony Bourdain had a music show, this would be it.
A veces temo olvidar quiénes fuimos. Cuando jugábamos a latir, nuestro futuro se iluminaba. Oh, ay, cuando quisiera abrazarte otra vez. Estar contigo en la ciudad, bailar contigo en la ciudad y amar. Sin llorar. Siento vacío esta vez, pero te siento al atardecer.
8 channels plus the 4 ambisonic. no overdubs.
Sin ningún
Quiet heart, break the night.
Live in one shot.
Bring the rain of the night. Western winds go, telling me to go. This footing, park where I once played. Caught your eye, was providently. Smiles replaced, God, I'm feeling gold. Welcome signs gone. My world will let me go. Sit a while, your company, it makes me smile and take it easy. I don't want you to leave yet. Just sit a while, we'll dance until the sun goes down and take it easy. I don't want you to leave yet.
There's great music everywhere.
Danza lo mismo, el sol igual se esconde, el río encuentra su cauce y la vida también. La vida pasa,
There's that
la
DPA.
vida pasa, si no es perfecta, no pasa nada. La vida pasa, si no es perfecta, no pasa nada. Oscuro desierto que guardan mil historias, susurra el viento por las entrañas.
So, what are the ingredients that I'm borrowing or
ingredientes que
that I love
estoy
to
tomando
use?
prestados o que me
Live
encanta
audience,
utilizar.
right? Having that
Auditorio en
interaction
vivo,
between
tener
the
esa
performer
interacción
and
entre
capturing something
el
in
quien está
real
tocando y
time.
capturar
That's
algo
what
en
makes the hair
tiempo
in the
real.
back
Es
of my
lo que
neck
hace
stand
que
up.
se me levanten los
I have
pelos de
the
la boca.
utmost respect
Y con
for
todo
copying
respeto,
100 takes of vocals,
100
but for me,
tomas
I'm much more
de la voz,
interested
pero a mí me
in capturing
interesa
something
más
that's
capturar
happening in
algo
real
que está
time,
pasando
in
en
real
tiempo
life,
real,
with
en la
thousands
vida
of
real,
people.
con
There's
mucha
something
gente.
about that
Hay algo acerca de esa autenticidad
I think there's
en
a
contra
thirst
de
for
la
it.
inteligencia
I'm
artificial.
wondering why
Me estoy
is
preguntando por
Tiny Desk
qué
so successful. And I think it's
Tiny
because
Desk
of
es
the
tan
nuance,
exitoso y
because
es por
it's
esas
perfectly imperfect.
porque es
And
perfectamente
that's what I'm always
imperfecto.
striving
Es
to
por
do.
eso que
So,
siempre
if
trato
you
de
do
hacer
me a
todo eso.
favor
Entonces, si
and
pueden
get out your
hacerme un
phones
favor,
at this exact
saquen sus
moment and
teléfonos
scan
en
that
este
QR
exacto
code, I
momento,
would
escaneen
love
ese
it if you
código
subscribe
QR.
to
Me
Global Sound
encantaría
Concerts.
si
We're going to record some. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Worldside
I think it's going
Concerts.
to be amazing. We have
Creo que va a ser
53 minutes and 59 seconds. Okay, so we're going to record
Vamos a
an
grabar
artist
a
today,
un
which I'm
artista el
very
día de hoy.
excited
Estoy muy
to
emocionado
do.
de
But first I'm
hacerlo.
going to show you a
Una
couple of
persona
things that
les voy a
I've been
mostrar un par
doing.
de cosas
You know,
que
I'm
voy a estar
creating this
haciendo. Estoy
series
creando
with,
esta
Bianca
serie
Lola,
con
Francesca,
mi
who's been
novia
shooting all the
Francesca.
videos
Ha
you've
estado
been seeing.
haciendo todo el video.
Woo! Francesca! Her Spanish is excellent. She's Chilena.
Es chilena.
And so something she mentioned to me was,
Mencionó
we need to find better artists. We were getting offered, I go to different universities and as part of my workshops with kids, with students. We go out and record someplace, it's amazing, and then we really had to figure out how to find the artists. So I came up with this idea to create a contest. And that's been one of the most rewarding things about this project, is encouraging young musicians, audio engineers to upload a 1-minute video. And this is what this looked like in Chile. The response was rather astonishing. I thought maybe 20 people would enter the contest. We had 800,000 views plus 52,000 likes and 268 comments and 36,000 shares, and the thing blew up.
El sonidista de Tiny Desk renunció luego de 10 años grabando a los mejores músicos del mundo. Y este 10 de diciembre viene a Chile a grabar a algunos de ustedes.
Hola, I'm Josh Rogosin. I've recorded over 800
Shout out to Tech.
concerts. I'm coming to Santiago, Chile to find a band to record for my new projects, Global Sound Concerts and Ghostlight Concerts. So please enter the contest today, so let me see what you got.
Para participar debes subir un video cantando en vivo de máximo 1 minuto con el hashtag Global Sound Chile. Recuerda también etiquetarnos a nosotros y a Josh para poder ver tu video. Tienes hasta el 2 de diciembre para participar y el mismo Josh escogerá a los ganadores. Mucho éxito a todos.
So that's what this looked like. Going through all the submissions with the hashtag GlobalSoundChile, there's 1,000 plus. Okay, now this is something we're going to do today. Ghostlight concerts, which is an offshoot of Global Sound Concerts, to record what different halls sound like. The first one we did was in Brisbane, Australia. Because of social media, I was invited to this backstage concert series at the Princess Theatre in Brisbane. It's the oldest theatre in Queensland. Beautiful! And I said, I have this idea for this new project. I want to record the sound of natural environments with an ambisonic mic, and that's it. And so I borrowed some musicians from the performance that was happening for the backstage series, brought them into the theater, and we recorded this, the very first pilot of Ghostlight Concerts.
Laugh around a picture frame, left in a hurry. If the morning doesn't thrill you, I'll admit it that I'm sorry. Watch another movie, driving at the bottom, just pissed in a bottle, just trying to be someone else. I spent last night back her heart. She's fucking the car. It's pretty nice.
Okay. If you get me into a recording studio, this is something we shot at Berklee College of Music. So they said, come in, take over our class. This is what I do. I get the musicians in a circle around me, I put the ambisonic mic in the middle, and I stand and I listen to the song. And then I tell musicians, all right, you need to come up a little bit, okay, maybe play a little bit down, get the balance correct. I don't use any monitors, there's no delay that happens when I make these recordings. So this is sort of going back in time, but we're still using modern technology.
Tecnologías modernas que ahora nos encantan, que plugins para hacer que el sonido sonara muy bonito.
Okay, James rolling. they got an MS Stereo shotgun mic, I think just for my visit, so I felt compelled to use it on the lead vocal, which I'm just going to play for a second.
Sometimes it's hard to know when I'm in the room. I saw your face and you had me in the palm of your hand. Movie scenes with your head on my shoulder.
Okay, next up we have something very special. We're going to record something right now, right here, at Soundcheck Expo. It's a first, folks. We're going to do a Ghost Light concert. This is the Ghost Light. It's the light that they put out on stage, at least in the US, perhaps here too, after everybody goes home, the theater is dark, to keep the ghosts away, to keep you from falling off the edge of the stage. So that's sort of the name of the series, comes from the Ghost Light. So, if we could get a big hand for Natalia Marakin. Am I pronouncing that correct? Natalia, please, come on out. Does anybody want to ask a question while we're waiting for a second? There's 2 mics back there. I can talk forever about any specific tinnitus that I recorded. I only recorded 800. There's about 1,200 out there. So the whole last year, I didn't do. I'm going to put that up again. You guys ready? Let's do it. Come on out. Natalia, everybody. And Eric's playing keys for us. Okay, so let's get you into place. One thing that's totally going to be weird is that we're going to have to get...
No lo escucho, disculpas.
Yes, really?
Yes, but not in the translation.
You don't even need this stuff. You can really hear me? Yeah. Do you need me to put this in? Or? Let's see. Why don't you guys start playing the song? Francesca, are you around?
I'm here.
Francesca's there. She's going to learn the song as they're playing it this time through, so that she knows where to be. I saw a Wolfpack concert at Madison Square Garden, and it was incredible. They had one camera on stage for 3 hours. I loved the one camera shot of like a little Mariposa floating around the musicians, going to see what's interesting when. I found it much more interesting than having 4 or 5 cameras cutting between the necks. So I feel like this is a way to make the music even more intimate with a single camera. So why don't you guys start? I'm going to place the mic where it looks good, and Francesca's going to learn the song. Go ahead.
puedo dejar de pensar en ti. Los momentos sin verte pesarán. No hay forma que no te extrañe al despertar. Quiero amarte más cada día más. Mi amor, ¿cómo se siente? Pasarte sin final. Dame la mano, acompáñame. Oh, oh, oh. Abrázame, quédate a despertar, nada igual. Quiero amarte más cada día más. Mi amor, ¿cómo se siente? Besarte sin final. Dame la mano, acompáñame.
So I only have one note. Understood.
Okay, I'm just gonna talk really quiet.
Yes, it's okay, thank you.
So I only have one note. It's really just a tune
Realmente
into the vocals,
es
right?
afinar
So
las
Eric,
voces.
if
Eric,
you could just make sure that
¿podrías asegurarte
you're really zoning
de
into
que
the dynamics of the
estás
vocals?
entrando en la dinámica de la
Back
voz?
when the vocals are quiet,
Pero
play
cuando
louder.
la voz está más
When
baja,
the vocals are
toca más
loud.
fuerte
And that's
que
it.
cuando las voces están muy
Is
altas.
everybody
Eso
in
es
the
todo.
back doing
Todos
okay?
allá
I know
atrás
this is a
están bien.
really weird
Sé que es una
experience,
experiencia
but
muy,
isn't
muy
it sort
rara.
of refreshing
Pero es muy refrescante no escuchar
anything
música sin
between you
nada
and the
más en
art?
que
In this context,
ustedes y el
not
arte
in,
en
you
este
know,
contexto.
your tour bus or your hotel room, but actually
A lo
like
mejor
in
en
a
tu
theatrical setting. So once
salón de
you're
clases,
just kind of
pero
your
en un
eyes
teatro
adjusting to the
te
night
cierras los ojos y te adaptas a la luz de la noche y escuchas también los sonidos bajos.
Francesca, are you ready?
Francesca, ¿estás lista?
No.
¿No? Ok.
Beautiful. Any
Hermoso.
thoughts? What did
¿Alguna
it
idea?
feel like without
¿Cómo se
having
sintieron sin
monitors?
tener
What
los
did it feel
monitores?
like?
¿Cómo
Did
se
it feel
sintieron?
like
Se
you were more
sintió
disconnected from the
como que
audience?
estaban más desconectados de la audiencia. Sí, un poquito.
¿Ustedes me escucharon? Sí. Ay, qué bueno. Yo no me escuché mucho, entonces es un poco raro porque para querer cantar bien, para estar afinada, pues quisiera escucharme, ¿no? Perfectamente, pero le da algo interesante, un poco orgánico, el no escucharte y tengo que como confiar en mi oído, en mí misma, en lo poco que puedo escuchar del piano para dar lo mejor de mí. Pero qué bueno que ustedes sí escucharon.
Con la parte final, en donde te presenta a tu compañero, dices de que, cómo se llama la canción que acabas de cantar, y bueno, tú te inspiras y puedes decir algo que te inspiró para realizar esa canción, o algo relativo a México, y tu inspiración siendo cantante aquí, ¿ok? Ya, chicos, lo hicieron súper bien la audiencia en el video. Así que aplausos para ustedes. Voy a hacer lo mismo que hice recién. Vamos a terminar la canción. Yo voy a girar, a hacer un 360 con la cámara y los voy a mostrar a todos, así que pongan su cara más sexy. Y ya al final voy a volver a la cantante, ella va a dar unas palabritas y luego yo me voy a ir hacia el cielo. Voy a estar alrededor de 10 segundos para darle espacio a los créditos. Ustedes actúen natural, ¿ya? No hay para qué estar en silencio, ¿ok? Gracias.
Start one more time, uno más. Okay.
So
You ready?
he's gonna tell me that he's okay, and I'm gonna tell you guys when we're ready.
I'm going to tell Francesca when I'm recording, and then she's going to tell them
Ella le va a
she's
decir a
recording, and
ella
then
que
we
está
begin.
grabando y vamos a empezar.
Ready? I'm recording.
Ready.
algo diferente, no suelo hacer esto, pero es bonito porque se siente esta cercanía, esta intimidad, ¿no? con el público. ¿Ustedes lo sintieron así? Sí, es una experiencia única y se agradece como artista, y al lado de Eric, que es un pianista extraordinario y acompaña de una manera bellísima, hace que sea muy fácil cantar. Y les compartimos esta canción que se llama Sin Final. Es una canción original y es una canción que habla de el amor tan profundo que puedes sentir por una persona, por tu pareja. Y yo le escribí esta canción a mi pareja y fue algo que quise escribir como de agradecimiento y regalo hacia él. Y espero que les haya gustado. Muchas gracias por escuchar y por recibir con tanto cariño.
That was amazing. Thank you for indulging me in that. That was, I know, different and weird, but I think it's fun. I want to pull up one thing
quiero
before
jalar
you
una
on.
cosa antes de...
Natalia, gracias. I just wanted to show you something, a few seconds of what we just did in Guadalajara with the students of Tec de Monterrey. This came out today. Oh, can we get my laptop up on the screen, please? Oh yeah, okay.
Son tus ojos verdes como el cielo. La sombra,
12 channels.
la voz del viento.
The keyboards are submixed.
La sombra, la voz del viento. La sombra, la sombra, la sombra. Mis recuerdos alrededor del sol.
So Francesca learned the song. She knew there was a guitar part coming, so she went to the guitar. I dig it. I think it's really cool. Okay, let's do some questions. I've got all kinds of clips I can pull up and just start talking about them, but what I'm going to do that, and then why don't you guys line up for some questions? We've got 24 minutes. It's going to fly, I promise you.
4 minutos van a volar, se los aseguro.
Here's that one time when Alicia Keys was her own mic tech.
Y'all are singing for real. Y'all got some voices in here. I love it. All right, so I'm actually also my own personal tech. Take this out.
I only had 16 channels for this massive band, so I asked Alicia Keys, will you just like put the mic on the stand and like unplug it and plug it in? volume up there.
Oh, I did.
Anyway, I thought that was a treat. And then she had to put it back.
All right, hold on. Let me switch my mic back.
So there's something about the casual nature of all this that just brings out a whole other vibe. Like nothing we're doing is too serious, right?
Also has a vibe that, I've been.
And then we had a little sing-along. I think I had a KU100 set up.
All right, it's your turn. Here we go. Because we did this already, so we know what we're doing. So we're just gonna grab that chorus, all of us together. We're gonna sing so loud, it's gonna feel so good. 1, 2. I keep on falling in and out of love with you.
So again, the live audience, having that interaction between artists and people, I think is essential for capturing amazing music. Okay, we get our first question. I have a translation situation, so don't be scared.
Hi, Josh. What kind of microphones do you use and where can I get them?
Okay, good question. There's a bunch of companies right outside that door. They might have...
No, I'm interested in the ones that you are using because I have never seen something like that.
I love this thing. This is made by a father-daughter team called Ear Trumpet Labs in Portland, Oregon. They cost $600. They're large diaphragm condensers. They're made from plumbing parts. And they sound fantastic, and they make for a really nice logo. This is the pop filter. It looks exactly like the mic. It's magnetic. I also love this mic because it can be low and out of the shot, and it's on this swivel, so I can actually focus the capsule wherever I need it without having to fight with a mic stand. This is a straight stand that I have it on here. So that's the answer. This is the Ambisonic from Soyuz, the O23, maybe? I don't know. And and it's in post-production, I could actually control how much that side of the mic is picking up and how much this side of the mic is picking up. So if I want more band, I can kind of focus the attention here. If I want more audience, I can focus the attention there, all in post-production. So the Amazon's really cool. There aren't like amazing acoustics in this room, I assume, out there. So this is more like if you're in a beautiful hall, and of course I would love to go to Australia, and what does the City Opera House sound like with just this mic and a couple performers around it? I think that'd be really cool. Who's next? Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Josh. First of all, I just want to say, like any of us in here, I'm really impressed by your work on Tiny Desk. It's just such an amazing work. The way you put the microphones, how it sounds, everything's so clear, so crispy. For me, it's just amazing. But my question goes, how did you do it? Because when you were rolling the clips from the many Tiny Desks, I saw that the mic is really far away from the mic, from the guitar or from the singer, but it sounds like if it was really close to the mic. So do you use any noise gates, compressors? How did you do it?
Great question. Minimal compression, zero noise gates. My noise gates are me going in and literally making edits in all my audio. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of edits, and then muting mics when they're not being used. Just using my ear, not trusting a gate or compression to do it for me, doing it all manually. I use clipping, and you'll see my sessions have a million edits. We had Leanne Mahadas. She was singing super quiet and super loud, so I had to get really dynamic with the editing. I don't have that here. But anyway, that's a great question. So lots of automation. And then working with the musicians. What's been amazing is that the musicians really trust what I'm doing. This must have been a very strange experience for Natalia. She's performing for y'all out there, thinking maybe you can't hear her, and she's not hearing herself. So that's a really weird position to put musicians in. But I've always found that if you give musicians a challenge, they usually rise to it and create something fresh and new that their audience has never heard before. I guarantee you what we did today, Natalia doesn't have anything like that. on YouTube to represent her art. So it's just like another avenue that we can give. That doesn't take up any studio time. So that's really nice.
Questions. One is about the considerations about artificial intelligence, which we represent in front of us. And the second one is which headphones did you use for this recording?
Okay. Artificial intelligence is amazing. If you don't have the money to get some music written for your TikTok clip, go for it. I think, technology is amazing. It can do stuff for you. Replacing anything that we're doing, I'm much more interested in not making things perfect. Is artificial intelligence going to be smart enough to add the nuance of a human performance that we've heard that maybe isn't in perfect pixel at time or have a random artifact, or maybe there's some rumble happening that sounds like Expo. I'm actually okay with the rumble happening that sounds like Expo because it places us in a place in time. I record audio as a journalist. I don't record audio as a
como productor. Te acercas al micrófono, no te escuchas. Gracias por todo el legado que has creado en Tiny Desk. He visto que muchos proyectos han empezado después de Tiny Desk y has intentado cosas similares, pero tratar de capturar la naturaleza y el aspecto periodístico realmente es muy singular en esta situación. Y mi pregunta es del sistema de monitoreo, porque se me olvidó responder eso. Estoy pensando más en cosas, no sé, como el
Right, exactly. How do electronics hear each other? Well, how do the keyboard players hear each other today? They had an amp, it was pretty loud when we started, and then I turned it way the hell down so you barely could hear it. So I can match it to the volume of the vocalist. And it was loud enough so that you these are not ideal recording
esta no es una grabación ideal. No son experiencias de grabación ideales, pero los músicos normalmente están interesados en intentar probar algo nuevo. Teníamos no había PA, no había micrófono, simplemente un director yo le decía la sección de pruebas, tomadas de la sección de un poquito más abajo, forzando a los músicos a escucharse a sí mismos antes de que cualquiera de estas tecnologías existiera. Y esto creó un estilo diferente de grabación y todos están en un grupo y estoy aquí con mis amigos escuchando. Estoy actualizando esta versión, estos monitors,
but I also love
también me encanta lo de Odyssey,
the M100, like an entry level that I use, and that's very, and then in front of it, a Cord Electronics headphone amp. It's super portable, Moto 2. So that's part of my monitoring thing. And mixing usually on the road on headphones. Once in a while, I will listen to my monitoring, my mixing. I mix on my phone, I live with it for 2 weeks. I listen to it on my commute to work. I listen to it in my speaker in my bathroom, in my kitchen. I listen to it when other things are going on, and then I come back to the mix. I listen to the mix the whole time, and over the course of 2 weeks,
y en 2 semanas estoy cambiando la mezcla mientras estoy haciendo como así es como monitoreo yo. Y última pregunta. Exactamente en qué sesión. Porque muchísimas, pero siento que había ruidos, voces, a veces escuchas. ¿Lo haces en postproducción?
I put on a very little bit of room reverb just to make it not sound like a cardboard box. But no, in the room, let's watch the one, shall we?
Escuchemos algo, mira.
So this was a combination of electronics.
Turn it up.
You want to dance? Rosa, dans ton full bordel, tu n'es pas. Et toi, Albert, quand on traîne, tu ramasses les airs. Céline, Baptiste.
So there is a little bit of room reverb that I add to his vocal, but it's hardly perceptible. And I had to ask him to clap quietly, because that clapping right into that mic would not have been good. So So this was an instance where we had tons of electronic instruments. They're all plugged into little amps around them, but turned way down. His vocals not going through a PA. So that means all of the amps were super duper quiet. And if I can find that, here we go. This is what the behind the scenes look like. So yeah, there was a bit of technology going on. So they were actually feeding the musicians keyboards and drum pads with different settings and different instruments at different points in the song. But it was all played live, so it was fun. Any other questions?
Yes. Just have a question about what would you do if you have a scenario where you have louder bands, like metal bands and things like that?
Yes.
That's kind of related with that question as well.
That's an excellent question. Does anybody here know the band Idols? Okay, let's watch this for a second. Here it is. Joe showed up and he was livid. He's like, fuck this, there's no way I can do this, there's no PA, you don't understand our music, we've got so much energy, there's no possible way we can do this. I said, well, okay, don't worry, I'm going to give you what you want, I'm going to give you a monitor, etc. But what I want you to do is just try. Play the first song, with all that energy and gusto, and you pissed off, put that energy into your performance, and this is what happened.
Y esto es lo que pasó.
No PA. This should not work. So that shouldn't work, but somehow it does, right? Is it perfect? Does it sound good? Kinda, not really. Is the energy there? Is the point getting across? Absolutely. Next question, please.
Hi, Josh. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking the time to come here, because many of your work has influenced, I suppose many of us record and produce ourselves at home, and your approach to recording has influenced me, and I suppose many of the people here. Now, my question. You mentioned regarding, I can't remember the act, but it was one with the water bucket, that due to the limited channels that you had to use kind of like a layering with EQ. What is your main approach to this, and how did you do it? Because I want to...
Absolutely. So Thundercat, during the Mac Miller Tiny Desk. Has anyone seen the Mac Miller Tiny Desk? 120 million people have seen it. He decided to play on the first song, and he was nowhere near a mic, but he had a shaker. So I found the mic on the Tiny Desk that was closest to the shaker, and then of course there's a high pass and a low pass, and then I crank the heck out of that frequency range where the shaker might be, so when you see thunder tempo like this, you can actually hear it. So that's really the technique, is finding the mic that's closest and EQ the snot out of it in a way that should not be good, like plus 30 dB. 3K.
Thank you very much.
Gracias.
Hi, nice to meet you, Josh. My question is about the global concert songs. Most of them are outside. So noises and all these non-controlling things about, I don't know if you mix noises or if you fix it in post.
It's a combo. Yeah, sometimes I'll use RX and take out some background noise. Particularly if I have a buzzy DI on a guitar, I'll use RX to take out the noise. But most of the time, like when we recorded, do you remember on the gondola? The beginning of that video is actually up a funicular, and it's super loud, and it's not ideal, but it's the same song repeating over and over again. So I kind of allowed the sound of the funicular going because I like it. I like having that personality in the recording. I'm not really interested in making the final record of that song. I'm interested in capturing an instance of that song in real life.
Hola, Josh. My question is more about post-production. I believe that live performances, the beauty of it is also the mistakes in them. So I wanted to ask you, which mistakes do you like to keep and which mistakes you usually
I'll show you.
take to the trash?
I like this mistake. He plays the wrong chord. Watch for his face. Also, I choose to use one stereo shotgun.
Utilicé único shotgun estéreo y fue increíble. De dentro para afuera, un mono sync. Y pensé, bueno, a lo mejor puedo poner dos micrófonos y puedo tener el balance como yo lo quiero, ¿verdad? No. Nada más ese shotgun estéreo enfrente y los hizo que se estuvieran hombro con hombro juntos y creo una instancia en donde realmente aprecio. Pero observa cómo llenado de imperfecciones está esta presentación y que lo perfecto que la hace es.
I'm not interested in perfection.
Interesa en la perfección.
It feels good, like a warm shower. I think. You want to count it in? You live in my dreams. I said, relocate my fantasy. I said, your reality. I said, you live in my dreams. Anytime I count, that's the only time we make up. You exist behind my eyelids. I said, I don't wanna wake up. I said 20, 20, 20, 20 visions. Keep it hit me with precision. I wonder if you look when you cross my mind.
That was the wrong chord.
I said I'm sick of chasing. You're the one that's always running through my daydream. And I can only see your face when I close my eyes. I said, can I get a kiss, baby? And can you make it last forever? I said I'm about to go to war, and I don't know if I'ma see you again. Jump for a sec. I said, can I get a kiss? And can you make it last forever? I said I'm about to go to war, and I don't know if I'ma see you again. Hit them motherfuckers. I said, okay, my infatuation is related to another form of what you call it. But okay, I ain't let you, I've been looking, stop that waiting for us, stop that chasing like an alcoholic. Now you don't understand me, what the fuck do you mean?
Next. I don't know how to even talk about that. It's too much.
Alright, hello. I have to begin with that mistakes are one thing of the human thing, but something that isn't like human-wise is the venue or the places that you're playing on or recording in. Sometimes some of us are amateurs with this kind of gigs, and even so, the places that you get some stuff doesn't work. What would you do if the place doesn't work?
Make more. everything works to a certain extent. What's my taste is different from what's your taste. I'm making stuff, and I have no idea how it's going to turn out. And sometimes it sucks. I can probably go through 100 Tiny Desks that I was not proud of. And that's just it's sort of a numbers game, right? If you don't go out and try shit, then you'll get nothing. So if you go out and try stuff, there's going to be a percentage that's cool. And there's going to be a percentage that appeals to me and not to you. And vice versa. It's all subjective. I think that's what's so beautiful about our industry and what we're doing here to learn from each other, is that we're all making it up. I made everything I do up. And whether it works or not is a complete fluke. 3 minutes.
Hi, Josh. So I have 2 questions. So the first one is, how much time do you take before recording the band? Like setting on the microphones, putting some EQ and other stuff and just like that. And my other question is, how was your workflow? So you attack first, setting up the microphone first. You talk with the band first,
Yeah.
there's a reunion.
Great question. I communicate with the band. I ask them for a stage plot, and then I approximate their relation to each other. So like in this instance, oh yes, my keyboard player is always to my right. So I try to maintain that in whatever space we're in. And then yes, if I'm at a place where I have it in advance, I can run all my cables, check all my lines, but always leaving the coil at the end where the mic is, not where the recorder or the stage box is, because this might move, the mic, this might move, but my stage box is not going to move. And then I work with, the artist to figure out their layout, work with the videographer, like in this case Francesca, where she wanted to go to learn the song, and then I mix the same day. I go home, I don't care how many channels it is, I spend 4 hours getting my first mix because I want it while it's fresh. I don't take notes, that's just me. And then I'll listen over and over again and make tweaks throughout, and that's my process. Thank you. How much time? So there's usually like a couple weeks, but sometimes it's like, no, we got to put this out right away because there's a peg to it, there's an album coming out, there's something for the promo that has to happen. So it just depends. And sometimes I'll work with the artist like Fred again, over FaceTime, mixing for hours, with him in London and me at home. And it's been a very varied experience. I'll just pull that up. And he brought visuals and used looping pedals. So as long as everything's live, we can play with technology. And obviously, there's a PA where I'm pumping the sound of what we're hearing on his loops and stuff. The desk sound right here, I cheated for sure. It didn't have that much oomph. 56 seconds. Someone behind the stage was actually, or the desk, was actually controlling when the loops were happening, so I felt it was a little bit disingenuous not to show that person on camera ever, but that's what happened. Still, brilliant, brilliant performance. Go watch it. Who's next?
Hola, si quieres ponerte el traductor.
Thank you. Yes. Uh-oh. There it is.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Me comentaron que es la última pregunta, perdón por hacerla en español. Y también es bastante presión, espero estés disfrutando México. Y quisiera preguntarte algo muy general. Sé que has trabajado, pues como podemos ver, en bastantes proyectos, y del 2014 al 2024 fueron demasiados Tiny Desk. Pero si tuvieras que ser muy exigente contigo mismo y elegir 3 de tus favoritos, ¿cuáles serían? Y también quería preguntarte si tú notas una gran evolución en lo que fue el 2014, en los primeros Tiny, y en los últimos. Si mejoró en gran medida, si desde el inicio esto fue para ti y lo hiciste excelente, no sé. Gracias.
Thank you you so much. Yeah, it's been a journey of just trial and error and making shit up. But yeah, the famous Tiny Desk, I always say Monsieur Pyrénées from Bogota, because I love the energy of them all sharing one microphone. That's something that I'm really a big fan of, like old timey radio. There's always one microphone, and I love that kind of vibe that creates. So I always say Monsieur Pyrénées. And then the only one I didn't play, this is not a couple ones that I recorded. Here's an instance of one microphone above the drummer. One mic in KM84. Right here. Okay, thank you for the translation. I couldn't really hear it, so I could try to answer that question. Yeah, so how was the evolution of what I did? I don't know. I don't think I evolved it that much. I think I always had an instinct of how I wanted to record things as a journalist, and taking direct stereo outs from the beginning, and using Pro Tools, and using Ozone, and using all the plugins that I kind of used from the beginning to the end. I feel really fortunate that the musicians that would come would obviously be excellent for the most part, and then it's just all about using your ears. I think it was just honestly how I evolved was my entire career. Nothing happened until the previous thing could happen. So if I hadn't gotten my first 4-track recorder, I never would have been able to be like a musical theater performer listening to the balance of the levels, and then I never would have been able to clip microphones onto journalists' caps, which I learned from theater, so I could record field sound recording with all the stereo sound recording techniques, which had prepared me for recording Tiny Desk in a very sort of unique kind of way as a field sound gathering person, and then just mixing where all of those years accumulated. So this is not overnight. It took me 15 years as a professional audio engineer. That's when my first Tiny Desk was. So by that time, I knew what sounded good. So the evolution was the same for me. It's part of the reason why I left. I need to grow. I need to get to what's next so that I can continue to challenge myself as an artist. And I hit the ceiling at Tiny Desk. It was an embarrassment of riches, but now I want to try something new. Do we have time? Do we have till 2:30 or is that a lie? Because I just see 0 secondos. I'm just going to keep going until someone tells me to stop. Are there any other questions? No más. Okay. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, Josh. This is for you. De parte del equipo de Soundcheck Expo tenemos este diploma para ti. Y también para Natalia Marroquín. Si gustas pasar, Natalia.
Thank you so much, Talia and Jorge Urbana. Soundcheck Expo is such a magical, amazing thing. This is my 3rd year. I'm coming back every year. So please be inspired. Go out and make stuff. Don't be afraid if it's good or not, because no one knows what the hell they're doing. Love you guys. Cheers.